American Civil War was arguably the most significant event in the history of the United States. Its impact is still felt in politics, customs, and business. Although the Eastern theater of the war still receives most of the notoriety, the Civil War in Arkansas was no backwater. It was an ugly, personal, and decidedly uncivil affair that was inescapable by all who lived here. Arkansas had the battles with grand armies and billowing banners, but most of the time, and in most of the places, we had guerrilla forces, burned homes and fields, outright murders and thefts, and folks who might ride up in your yard, ask what side you were on, and your living or dying would depend on the answer you gave. The Civil War in Arkansas was not a war fought somewhere else. It was a war fought right here, in every county and community. The Arkansas legislature established the Arkansas Civil War Sesquicentennial Commission to commemorate this historic event, especially as it happened in and affected Arkansas. The commission has committed to several objectives: sanctioning activities around the state such as reenactments, symposia, and special events, promoting historic Civil War sites through brochures, websites, and other promotional outlets. Since the Civil War touched almost every part of Arkansas, there are sites and buildings statewide that were a part of our history. And we as Arkansans and our children need to know about and hopefully visit during the Sesquicentennial. The Commission is promoting publications and archival collections connected to the Civil War in Arkansas and advocating donations of materials to appropriate repositories. There is a great deal of Arkansas history in attics, trunks, and closets that might be lost if we do not do what we can to copy, preserve, and collect it. Archives, museums, and parks can often copy and return documents, diaries, and photos that may be of great significance to researchers. Often, artifacts that might seem insignificant to many of us can be of great use to museums. There have been a number of publications about Arkansas and the Civil War, but not near as many as there have been in other states. We hope to encourage more. If you lived in Arkansas during the Civil War, you lived in the war. It's important for all of us to realize what happened in our own backyards and what it meant then and may still mean today. We hope to encourage local folks to do the research and create local observances to explain what happened not somewhere else, but right here. The Commission will support efforts to teach and research Arkansas Civil War history in the state's schools and universities. We feel it's terribly important that our students are afforded the opportunity to learn about the Civil War and its impact on how we all live today. We will encourage our educational institutions to redouble their efforts, especially during the Sesquicentennial, to teach these lessons. Additionally, there are undoubtedly holes in our history that might be filled by scholarly research for historians or master's and doctoral candidates if properly guided. It could truly create a resource for future study of Arkansas history. The Commission supports efforts to preserve and interpret the state's Civil War sites, documentary heritage, and artifacts. Almost everyone has heard of Pea Ridge or Prairie Grove or the Old State House, national and state parks and museums in Arkansas that preserve important battle sites or historic buildings. But what about Mount Elba, Devall's Bluff, Devil's Backbone, or Reed's Bridge? Not every site can be a national or state park or museum, but there are other ways and partnerships to assure preservation. Once a place is lost, it's gone for good. The same is true for documents and artifacts. If we don't do what we can to save these places and things now, there may not be another opportunity. It didn't matter if you were white, black, or Native American, immigrant, slave, storekeeper, plantation owner, or mountain farmer. If you lived in Arkansas, the war could not be avoided. Its impact on your life could not be overstated. It's also true today. Everyone has a story from their perspective, and we need to make sure the stories get told. Well, that's what the Arkansas Civil War Sesquicentennial is all about. What can you do? Get involved. Work with your local school system, your county historical society, or your local park or museum. Check the attic and the closets for materials or letters from the era. Visit Arkansas's Civil War sites. Enjoy and learn. Where can you get help or find resources? Visit arkansascivilwar150.com. We'll be adding information regularly, so check in often. The Civil War changed Arkansas forever. Isn't it time you found out how?